You are listening to episode 13 of the Aligned Actor Podcast. I have a fun new idea for you today, a fun way to think about divine timing that I feel like has the power to pull me out of my feelings of frustration and lack in my career. But also by the end of the episode, I noticed that I'm kind of saying the same thing I always say, which is find a way to feel good now. You get to decide how you feel about your career now. You get to decide that your career is great now, which is, it's kind of at the heart of all conscious creation and manifesting. So I guess even if I end up with a million podcast episodes that all kind of circle back to that idea and that theme and are all variations on that theme, and ways to get to that place, that's probably good, right? Different people are going to hear the message at different times and have different ways that things hit them, so it's all good. I don't know. Anyway, that's one of the weird things about this podcast, too, is it's just happening. I'm not doing much. I feel like I just kind of type out a bunch of stuff that I need to hear, and then I turn on my microphone and I start talking to you for a while, and it just flows. And we go with it. And sometimes airplanes fly over and the air conditioning kicks on and the dog barks and the husband comes back in from his office in the garage. And, we just roll with it. And we cut at times and we restart and it just happens. And I decided I kind of want more of that in my acting. And in the way I approach my career, but also the way I approach my acting craft. So I'm going to try to figure out what's happening here and why I'm having so much fun and so kind of delighted in this space, and see if there are things that I can learn and apply to my craft and my career. So I think, well done, Amy. I think I just came up with another podcast idea while recording this intro to this podcast, which is all about divine timing and this fun way to think about divine timing that has been kind of tickling me. And I hope you find it fun too. So please enjoy. Welcome to the Aligned Actor Podcast. I'm Amy Schlurb, and I am an actor and a student of conscious creation, looking to learn, grow, and share my experiences with you so that together we can master our mindsets and manifest the careers of our dreams. Let's play. Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I know that sometimes I can get really impatient in my career and in manifesting my career, and all these little fun thoughts like, why aren't I there yet? Wherever there is, right? It's going to be different for everyone. And I know that truly that just means that I've fallen out of alignment with my desire. I've fallen out of that place of possibility in my mindset and into that fun place of lack. Oh boy. Fun used sarcastically, obviously. And that I just need to get back into that place of knowing my career is unfolding perfectly. And I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And what's interesting is even just saying that out loud as I was recording this, I felt really confident and really locked into that. I felt grounded and confident and assured in that, which felt really cool, just to give you some background on where my thoughts are right now. And as one of my favorite podcasters and LOA coaches, Jeanette Ma, says in her podcast, LOA Recon, which I will put a link to this specific episode in the show notes. So in one of these episodes, she says, in this episode I'm going to link to, she says something like, if you think you need patience, you're doing it wrong. You need more alignment. Because when we're going, God, I gotta get more patient. I have to be more patient. I have to just wait for my thing to arrive. I just have to wait. I just have to be patient. We're actually sending a signal to the universe that we don't have what we want. Because if we had what we want, we wouldn't be patiently waiting for it. We would just be experiencing it. We would have it already. We would have what we want. So what we really want to send is the opposite signal, that signal of, I have what I want. I'm having what I want, to attract our desire to us. And to look at this in a more sort of general actor mindset place and idea, we all know that this is that crappy, frustrated feeling that none of us like. It's that muck that we're all struggling to get out of. Am I ever going to work again? Why can't I book a job? Why can't I get an audition? Why won't my agent call me back? those sort of general unsatisfied actor thoughts that we all can have. So any way that you can pull yourself out of that muck of frustration, whether you're into conscious creation or not, you're just going to feel better. So I feel like this is good stuff to work on regardless of where you fall on the whole LOA conscious creation spectrum. But I realize if you're listening to this podcast, you probably fall kind of in line with me. And you're pretty far on the side of conscious creation being pretty cool and awesome. I feel like I say this a lot on this podcast, but I truly believe that anything you can do to make yourself feel better in your career is just going to let you stay at the table longer and long enough until the chips all come to you. So I've come up with a fun way that I like to think about divine timing that I've found has the ability to shift me out of that frustration, that frustrated actor, lack of career sort of mindset, and into a more playful one where I'm like, oh, it may not be here yet, but it's coming. And it's going to be better than I can even imagine. So the backstory on this is there was a time when I was at the grocery store with my 3-year-old, and he loves going to the grocery store. I don't know why. Maybe I should get him out more. But anyway, this kid loves the grocery store. And one time we were at the grocery store, and he really wanted popsicles. And I kept telling him, yes, we're going to get popsicles, but not just yet, because we have other stuff to buy first, and I don't want the popsicles to melt in our cart while we do our shopping. Well, I don't know how much experience you have with 3-year-olds, but logic isn't really their strongest characteristic. So, of course, every time I would put something in the cart, he would ask, okay, so now can we go get popsicles? And I'd say, well, no. We're going to get them later. And he'd say, but I want popsicles. And I would say, I hear you. I hear that you want popsicles. I know you want popsicles. But we're going to get them in the end so that they don't melt before we get home. And it was about halfway through this grocery store trip when I went, oh, the universe is using my child to reflect back to me this lesson on divine timing. So I started thinking, where am I getting impatient and not recognizing that it's happening, just not on what I thought the timeline was supposed to be, but rather on a better timeline so that I don't end up with melted popsicles instead of getting exactly what I want or better. And I have some examples of when I did this recently. So earlier this year, I did a role on the ABC show, The Kids Are All Right. And I said that I wanted to be able to live tweet the episode because that's a thing now. And I thought it would be really fun and a way to practice some of the social media stuff that actors have to do more and more these days. So I kind of put that out there. I was like, oh, I would really like to live tweet the episode. Like, that'll be really fun. But the show airs on a night that I have acting class. And I didn't want to skip my acting class because I paid for it. So I didn't want to skip it just to live tweet. Like that didn't feel particularly good. So I just sort of let it go. And then, as we were getting closer to, a long enough time having passed that the episode might be airing and wanting to figure out when that was going to air, I started checking IMDb obsessively to see when my episode was going to air. And it wasn't showing up. And yes, I also see that I was, stuck in this vibration of where is my episode? And I hope I didn't get cut out of my episode. So again, a vibration of lack. Are you noticing a little bit of a theme for me? Instead of one of knowing and trusting it's coming. It's there. It's just not for me to decide the timing. And then sure enough, I think like a week or maybe 2 weeks after my class ended, my episode aired. And I got to do all the fun social media stuff that night that I would have missed if I had still been in class. And in hindsight, I went, oh yeah, I said I wanted this. And it was delivered better than I could have imagined. I got to go to all of my classes and live tweet. So thank you, universe. I appreciate those nice frozen popsicles that you delivered instead of the gooey mess that I would have given myself if I had had control over the pieces that I saw. So anyway, it's just I think it's just a fun way to look at divine timing, trusting that your timeline is right on track no matter where you are. You are right in the right place right now. And I can still get better at this. And I bet you can too. I think I recently reread the Ann Dowd article about how she got that whisper from herself at around 30 that she wasn't going to make it, quote unquote, until well into her 50s, and it freaked her out. But she kept going, and sure enough, and I will put a link to that article. I think it was like a speech that she gave, and then somebody wrote an article about the speech and quoted her a bunch in it. And a story like that, it simultaneously fills me with so much hope and joy and sort of like forget the timeline, it's all cool sort of energy. And then on the flip side, so much fear and longing. Because if I'm like her, and I think she thought this too, I'm like, what the heck do I do until then? And the answer is this. Keep doing this. Keep on keeping on. I'm having frozen popsicles, and they will be delivered to me in the perfect timing. They won't be melted in my cart. They will be frozen and delicious. Because ultimately, I know I get to decide when my career is satisfying and fulfilling, and I choose now. I choose to look around at all the things that I have going on and feel satisfaction and fulfillment and validation all on my own without needing to get it from other people. And when I do that, I feel better. I take bigger, bolder, look at me and what I can do action in terms of putting my work out into the world and sharing it authentically with no apology. So again, whatever you can do to fortify your mindset so that you're taking that inspired action from a place of possibility and hope, please do that. And sometimes that means reframing lack, or it's not here, to be, it's not here yet, but it's coming. And if you can focus on that, it's coming, that knowledge that it will be delivered in the right time and in the right place and perfectly and better than you could even imagine. That's what's gonna make you feel better. That's what's going to give you the hope and keep you at the table long enough for the chips to come to you. So, do you want melted, messy, gooey popsicles or frozen, delicious popsicles? It's just kind of a fun idea that tickles me, and I hope that it helps your mindset in the same way that it helps mine. So please come play with us in the Facebook group. Once again, you can find that at facebook.com/groups/the Aligned Actor Community. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Post in the group. Share things that are on your mind. We're going to all support each other. We're all going to have a lot of fun and learn and grow together, because that's what this is all about. And that's the whole point of me doing this podcast and having this group, is for us to all support each other and learn and grow and have our dream careers now. That's my goal, at least, to have my dream career now. Excuse me. That was like a cut and then a take two. We're going to go back. Because it's okay to mess up sometimes. Sometimes you make a mistake, sometimes you mess up. And you know what? You just go back and do it again. That's how we do this. So yeah, I have my dream career now. Okay, thanks guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. If you feel inspired to do so, please subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast with your actor pals so that more people can enjoy the good vibes. Also, be sure to join the Aligned Actor community on Facebook by going to facebook.com/groups/the Aligned Actor Community. That's the place where this podcast gets interactive. It's a pretty fun party. You're going to want to get in on it. Until next time, remember, you are an amazing actor and you are creating the career of your dreams. Congrats!